الله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه ومن والاه. اللهم إنا نسألك خير هذه الليلة وخير ما بعدها، ونعوذ بك من شر هذه الليلة وشر ما بعدها. نسألك موجبات رحمتك وعزائم مغفرتك، والغنيمة من كل بر، والسلامة من كل إثم، والفوز بالجنة والنجاة من النار. اللهم إنا نسألك علما نافعا وقلبا خاشعا ولسانا ذاكرا وعملا متقبلا ورزقا طيبا. اللهم آمين يا رب العالمين. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to grant us a beneficial knowledge and a heart that's sound and humble to Allah, to the teaching of the Quran and to the Sunnah of the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. And we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make our tongue always remember Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and say always the good word that please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, as we ask Allah to grant us such blessed provision. Ameen ya Rabbal Alameen. Tonight, inshallah, we're going to conclude all the scenes that the Prophet ﷺ have seen during his holy trip. Briefly, for those who were not here in the last couple of weeks, the persecution were intensified upon the Prophet ﷺ in Mecca, and he was so tired. Traveled from a town to another, from a village to another, hoping that people would be guided to Allah. And he wanted to convey the message to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala everywhere. And he seen nothing except a solid heart and head. Very few people believed in Allah and His Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam. After the transgression and persecution were intensified against the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, especially in At-Ta'if, and he took a side and he started to weep and invoke Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, asking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to help him and support him. And he thought that Allah is not happy with him because Jibreel stopped coming to the Prophet ﷺ for a while. And you know the dua, Allahumma ashku ilayka dha'fa quwwati wa qillata hilati. Oh Allah, I complain to you my weakness. I have no power, I have nothing, but my concern is if you are unhappy with me, I cannot bear it. And he concluded the dua by saying, إِن لَمْ يَكُنْ بِكَ غَضَبٌ عَلَيَّ فَلَا أُبَالِي. If all what happened to me not a sign that you are not happy with me, I don't care about any kind of transgression or persecution. At that night, the Prophet, at that time, the Prophet ﷺ was taken to a very special trap. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants to comfort the Prophet ﷺ, to give him a rest, and to show him such great signs, cause comfort and peace to his heart, and to give him more power of iman, of faith, and to be able to deliver the message of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I will remind you with the scene that the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he saw some people's lips was cut off You know, some people has clipper cutting off the lips of others. Whenever it grow up back, all the time. He asked Jibreel, who are those? You remember last time? Those, the Muslim scholar of this ummah, who were deviated from the straight path of Allah. يَأْمُرُونَ النَّاسَ بِالْبِرِّ وَيَنْسَوْنَ أَنفُسَهُم. They command people with that which is good, and they don't do any kind of good. They don't do any kind of goodness. They violated the limit of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala by doing everything haram. Number two, he saw a woman moving her slave like that and calling the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and she said, "Oh Muhammad, انظرني أسألك, wait for me, I have a question for you." And the Prophet didn't look at her. He asked Jibreel, who's she? You remember? The dunya, the life of this world. If you answer her, all of your ummah will be among the people of dunya, desiring the dunya, and they pay no attention to the hereafter. He saw an old woman on the way that they were walking, calling him, same question, wait for me, I have a question. And the Prophet ﷺ didn't answer. Who is she? This is the rest of the life of this world. The old woman is an example of the rest of this life, very short. If you answer her, that means your ummah will live very short, and they will be among those who seek the adornment of this life, not the adornment of Jannah that Allah promised them. The tree trunk was some Muslims by name sitting on the straight path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala everywhere, trying to turn the people away from the straight path of Islam, from Deen, from Quran, from the Sunnah of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He saw some people planting and harvesting at the same day. Whatever they harvest, it grow up at the same day, again and again, continuously. Who are they? المجاهدون في سبيل الله بأموالهم وأنفسهم. Those who strive hard for the sake of Allah with their lives and their wealth. Iblis alayhi la'natullah. He saw a person calling him, "Oh Muhammad, look at me, I have a question for you." Who's this? He said, Iblis. If you follow him, your ummah will be a follower for the shaitan. He saw some people smashing the head of some other people, and after the head being smashed and destroyed, grow up again, and they keep smashing them all the time. Who are they? You remember? Those who don't pray. تتثاقل رؤوسهم عن الصلاة. They prefer sleeping on the salah. They heard the call of Allah, they know the prayer time for Fajr, for Dhuhr, for Asr, and they don't answer the call of Allah by being in the masjid or even praying at all. Even if they pray with laziness. And he saw some people have patches on the front, above their private part, from the front and from the back. And they are grazing in the farm like animals, like goats, sheep, cows, camels. Who are they? The people who don't give zakah. Those who deny to give zakah. Today we're going to talk about a very exciting story. The Prophet ﷺ smelled a very beautiful scent, beautiful fragrance. Comes out from a grave. a beautiful smell came out from a grave. He asked Jibreel, what is this? ريح جسدي ماشطة بنت فرعون. The assistant lady who held Pharaoh's daughter was Muslim, but nobody knows except Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. While she's, doing the hair of Pharaoh's daughter with the comb fell down. And she said, Bismillah, to pick it up back. So the daughter said, what did you say? I said, Bismillah. Do you mean my father? In the name of my father? So your father is not a God. Your father is a human being like me, like you, like anyone. He's a human being. You don't believe that my father is God? My God, the true God, is my God, your father's God, everybody's God. I'm going to tell my father. Tell him. The father came, Pharaoh, the tyrant, the dictator. Well, I'm asking myself, if you are that person, do you believe in rather than me? See how this woman. أَلَكِ رَبٌّ غَيْرِي? Do you believe in another God rather than me? He said, my Lord and your Lord is Allah. Is Allah. The one who created the heaven, the one who created the earth, the one who created me, created you, the sun, the moon, the river, send the rain, is my Lord and your Lord. He said, I'm going to ask you 2 more times. Give you a chance to change your mind. But you never imagine what punishment is going to be yours if you say yes. Do you believe in another God other than me? Yes. 3 times yes. Shahada children. Shahada children. You know what I'm going to do to your children? Do whatever you want. Do whatever you want. He asked his assistant. He had a big bowl made of copper, from brass. I want to make a big fire and put that bowl above the fire. And put oil inside. Until it's boiling. Have you seen this? Yes. He took one of her sons. Wallah, it's unbelievable. She cried. What are you going to say? My Lord and your Lord is Allah. The second one. And herself. شهداء في سبيل الله. Before she died, she said, may I ask you something? He thought that she's gonna change her mind. After our bodies burn, collect all the bones together, and put them in one grave, hoping that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala can look at us and show His mercy upon us in the day of judgment. See what these people do for the sake of Allah. When you heard this story, what hardship do you face regarding our deen? You have any problem to pray? You have any problem to believe in Allah? You have any problem to recite the Quran? You have any problem to fast? I know some of our sisters struggle with that. Those who are working some businesses, they might see some kind of discrimination or disrespect. Wallahi, if she remains strong, putting their trust in Allah, even if they ask her, take off the hijab, I'm not going to take it. It's my right. I remember in Germany or United States, I don't remember, I'm not sure. They fire a lady and cause her to lose her job only because they asked her to take off hijab. And she said, I'm not going to take it. I'm not going to take it off. And they fired her. She sued them and take about $2 million compensation and return back to the job. Some of our sisters, the first one to ask the Sheikh, what shall I do? It's not asking, ask yourself, are you really want it or not? You really want it, or you take advantage of this? Oh, I'm gonna lose my job. I'm gonna, I help my family. I support my mortgage. والله من ترك شيئا لله هذا قول مين؟ الحبيب صلى الله عليه وسلم. من ترك شيئا لله عوضه الله خيرا منه أي في الحلال. It depends on your determination, your intention, what you want to do. Do you really want to keep yourself strongly in Iman? I'm going to tell my manager before I take the job, I have my religious duty at that time. I want to pray at that time. I want my lunch break to be at that time. And be flexible. What about if he said, we cannot give it to you at 2. Can you take it at 3 now? Should be at 2. Be flexible. Right? You're still in time. You understand what I mean? Yeah, you have to be flexible. But try with him nicely. Say, if you can do it at 2, I would really appreciate it. But if it's not, I'm fine. Right? Hijab. You went to the work and you took the job while you are a woman with hijab. No matter what, I'm not going to take it off. Because once you decide to wear hijab, you believe in it, that's one of the fun for the Muslim woman, right? I'm not going to take it off. No matter what. Nicely. What? Hijab? Have you heard? I watched a video today in Sweden for the refugee. 2 Muslim students wearing hijab. And the teacher was crazy when she saw them wearing hijab. And they have in 1 year about 500 cases of discrimination regarding Muslim women who wear hijab. In one year, 500 cases. And the video is she's, slapping on the table and talking to him about something very indecent. And they want them to talk about indecent words. And they said, we will not. Wallahi, our sisters are mujahidat fi sabilillah, with nothing except, inshallah, with her salah, but to keep wearing hijab, this is jihad. jihad fi sabilillah, Allah will reward her the best of reward, more than the men, especially at this time. But they need to have full, convinced about that. To be convinced about that. Why I'm wearing hijab for? This is very important. Mashita lost her son one after another, and herself, for sabilillah. I am not going to say. Ammar ibn Yasir, they torture him severely. Say, kafartu billah. I disbelieve in Allah. I disbelieve in Muhammad. When they intensify the persecution for him, I do, he said. And he was so upset with that. And he remained and so, what shall I say that? Allah revealed the Quran in his regard. من كفر بالله من بعد إيمانه إلا من أكره وقلبه مطمئن بالإيمان ولكن من شرح بالكفر صدرا فعليهم غضب من ربهم ولهم عذاب عظيم. Whoever disbelieves in Allah after he believes or she believes in Allah, except those who were forced under persecution, they were forced to say the word of disbelief, Allah will not punish them for this word even they say. Allah will punish severely, and Allah's curse and Allah's wrath will be upon those who like to leave Islam willingly. Mashita, she had an option to say by the time I was kidding, right? I'm going to tell the truth. Even if the price, my life and my children and my family, the other life is better for me. قُلْ مَتَاعُ الدُّنْيَا قَلِيلٌ. Have you remember, she's living in the house of the strongest person on the earth at that time. She might say, good money, good job. If I need anything, you will help me with it, right? If I ask him for any kind of assistance, he will help me. My children, they're gonna grow up in the house of the right? She never think about all of this. Only one thing, to please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. To please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Nowadays, in the palaces of the dictators, there are some people with head of scholars, and they support them against the population wrongfully because they like the luxurious life. They have VIP car. If they want anything, here you go, just to practice transgression and persecution against the poor people.